Hello, my friends, and welcome to our daily Agile. We will be taking a look at Agile questions. Here's your first question. You are a project manager in an organization transitioning to Agile, and some teams struggle with Agile principles. What steps can you take to help the team understand Agile values and principles, fostering a shared mindset? Is it A, maintain an open hierarchical communication structure? B, encourage the weaker team members to coach the stronger team members? C, encourage open dialogue and collaboration on Agile values? D, share Scrum practices and Kanban underlying principles? Hit the pause button if you need more time. Let's use the process of elimination to choose the right answer. The summary of this question is, you, as a project manager, needs to help the team understand Agile values and principles, fostering a shared mindset. So the key goal here is to get the team to have a shared mindset. We want that common understanding. A, maintaining an open hierarchical is a word we stay away from in the world of Agile because we want that team autonomy where everyone is accountable. Hierarchical communication structure means there's one person here and is pushing down communication, or communication is centered around that individual. So option A is not the best choice. Let's take a look at B. Encourage the weaker team members to coach the stronger team members. Now, while that's not a bad structure because it could help show gaps, our focus is not on weaker team members. Our focus is on the entire team to get them to understand with a shared mindset. B isn't a bad option, but I'm not inclined to choose it immediately, so I'm going to check out C. C, encourage open dialogue and collaboration on Agile values. That has a better chance of giving me a solid foundation. B does not point out what the coaching is going to be in. You would guess that it's in Agile values and principles, but it is not as explicit, which makes it a less ideal option compared to C. So I'm going to keep C in my back pocket now and throw B out and go to D. D states, share Scrum practices. Now, this is a framework. This does not equate to the Agile values and principles. Kanban, even though it's more flexible than Scrum, is still not exactly what I'm looking to do, which is Agile values and principles. D goes to frameworks instead of focusing on the Agile manifesto values and principles, which is what we need as a base. Watch, it says the organization is transitioning to Agile. Some teams struggle. So the best answer here, my friends, is without a doubt C. The closest one would be B, but it doesn't give us as good an option as C. All right, so let's take a look at what else we have here. And here we have the logic behind C. Encouraging open dialogue and collaboration allows team members to collectively develop a shared understanding of Agile values and principles. Coaching is not a bad second option, but the answer wasn't as clear. Let's go to the next question. It reads, you're the project manager on a large-scale organizational change initiative. The change is underway, but some teams are resisting the new process and behaviors. What should you do next to support the change and make the organization more effective and efficient? Is it A, apply a coaching and mentoring technique to the teams in acceptance? B, isolate the resisting teams to prevent their influence on others? C, create a detailed change request to drive the change through the process? D, collaborate with the resisting teams to identify their concerns and find solutions? All right, hit the pause button if you need more time. Now let's go through the rationale. It reads, you are the project manager, so you are ultimately answerable. Keep that in mind. But it says a large-scale organizational change initiative. Change is underway, but teams are resisting. What would you do, or what should you do next to support this change? To support the change, let's read A, apply a coaching and mentoring technique to the teams in acceptance. That is referring only to the teams in acceptance. Well, what about the resistant teams? Are we going to forget them? No, so it's not A. B says isolate the resistant teams to prevent their influence on others. That's not an agile mindset. When you get these questions, you need to understand we want to include everyone. We also want transparency. B does not do that. It's down to C and D. C says create a detailed change request to drive change through the process. But it already says this is a change initiative, so there's already a change request. C has already been done. It's just not being accepted. So C is not the best answer, which leaves us with option D, collaborate with the resistant teams to identify their concerns and find solutions. D is the best option, my friends. Let's take a look at the extended explanation. D, collaborate with the resistant teams to identify their concerns and find solutions. The rationale, collaborating with the resistant teams to understand their concerns and work on solutions is vital for the success of the organizational change. Next question. As a project manager in an agile organization undergoing a system-level change, you've identified bottlenecks in the new process that are hindering efficiency. What should you do next to influence processes and behaviors and make the organization more effective and efficient? A, cooperate with the customer to maintain things as they are to avoid disruptions. B, request process changes, discussing them with the change control board. C, share the issues with the team, but avoid taking any further action. D, work with stakeholders to identify and implement process improvements. Hit the pause button if you need more time. Let's examine the options. Right off the bat, you can identify those things that are not agile just by nature. Cooperate with the customer to maintain things as they are, but it says they're bottlenecks. Why do you want to maintain things as they are? There may need to be disruptions to get things right. So we cannot keep working this process that is hindering our efficiency. So it's not A, we can't do that. B, request process changes, discussing them with the change control board. Now we've got to be aware that this is an agile organization. It is likely that the change control board mentioned is not in line with agile. This is not how we tackle change in an agile environment. So we're going to keep B aside for now and see if there's something better. Let's go to C. Share the issues with the team, but avoid taking any further action. It's similar to A. We're not taking any further action. That is not a good choice. Let's take a look at D. Work with stakeholders to identify and implement process improvements. Now that makes sense. You got the bottlenecks. You know what's hindering efficiency. You got to work with stakeholders to understand how you can implement these improvements. So it looks like you've found the bottlenecks, but you need to implement the process improvements. B is not an agile environment. That is more like a predictive environment, right? Requesting process changes. Why would you request the process changes when you already know what the bottlenecks are? And discussing them with the change board is not the same as the decisive implement. So if you have two options and one says discuss with the change board and the other says work with the customer to implement, implement always takes a cake because that's action, bringing things to a conclusive, desirable ending. All right, so let's take a look. It says D, work with stakeholders to identify and implement process improvements. Working with stakeholders to identify and implement process improvement is essential to make the organization more effective and efficient during a change initiative. Let's go to number 9. You are a project manager tasked with implementing a new organizational structure. Some employees are hesitant about the change. What should you do next to support the change and influence behaviors to make the organization more effective and efficient? Is it A, maintain an agile top-down approach to push behavior changes? B, ignore the hesitant employees and focus on the change plan? C, encourage open communication and provide incentives for desired behaviors? Or is it D, encourage dialogue but keep the reasons behind the change confidential? Hit the pause button if you need more time. The summary of the question is organizational structure needs to be implemented. Some people are hesitant. What should you do to support the change and influence behaviors to make the organization more effective and efficient? In other words, to get people more at ease. So we have A, maintain an agile top-down approach means coming from on high down to the people below, like pushing things down to them. That is not an agile mindset. So A is immediately disqualified, even though it is trying to mask the word with an agile front. Top down and push are not agile mindsets. B, ignore the hesitant employees. So this is saying, forget about some of the employees and focus on the change plan. That is also not in the spirit of Agile. We bring people into the discussion. We do not alienate them. It's saying, ignore those hesitant people. Forget about them. That's not an Agile mindset. C, encourage open communication and provide incentives for desired behaviors. Now, open communication is great. Incentives are not a bad thing. It's not bribe. So let's keep C in our back pocket and check D. D, encourage dialogue. Same thing as encourage open communication. So that piece is okay. Then it goes further to say, but keep the reasons behind the change confidential. Now, that's not in the spirit of Agile. That is not open. That is not being transparent. So we're not going to choose D. We are choosing C. So, my friends, the best answer is C, encourage open communication and provide incentives for desired behaviors. Encouraging open communication and providing incentives for desired behaviors helps employees embrace the change and fosters efficiency in the organization. Question 10. As a project manager in a software development project, you've noticed that team members lack a clear view of the project's progress. What should you do next to enhance transparency and trust? Is it A, keep project progress information confidential? B, share progress updates only with select team members? C, maintain visible information radiators showing real progress? D, encourage team members to use software tools that are agile for their individual work processes? Hit the pause button if you need more time. So the summary of this problem, my friends, is the team lacks a clear view of the project's progress. So what should we do next to enhance transparency of this project? Is it A, keep project progress information confidential? Well, that will take us back to square one. So that doesn't make sense. It will be that. B, share progress updates only with select team members. Again, that is keeping people in the dark. It's not transparent. C, maintain visible information radiators showing real progress. Hopefully, you know what an information radiator is. It's an artifact of sorts where the information of interest is displayed to anyone who walks by that information radiator. It could be an electronic radiator, it could be static, it could be a whiteboard, it could be a chart on a board, whatever it is. But that's not bad. So let's keep that in our back pocket and check out D. D says encourage team members to use software tools that are agile. That's not bad. But using software tools that are agile, does it solve the problem of giving a clear view of the project's progress? That's debatable. But the deal clincher here is D says for their individual work processes, we want a collective view of the project. We don't just want to use software tools for our individual work process. We want something collective that shows project progress. So the best answer here, my friends, is option C. Let's take a look at the logic. Maintain visible information radiators showing real progress. Maintaining visible information radiators is crucial to enhance transparency and trust by providing real-time project progress. And there you have it, my friends. We've come to the end of today's episode. For more information, courses, and help in your Agile and your project management, going down to the website, it's Praizion.com. Check out the various courses that we have there and the various materials. Thank you for joining me. I wish you all the very best on whatever exam you're studying for. Remember, this stuff is good for the ACP exam and also for the PMP because it's agile through and through. And what you'll notice is that the questions that I've given you are not tied to any one knowledge area or any one process group. It's really just agile thinking, and this will help you as you prep for either of these exams. All right. Thank you very much. All the very best. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share. Bye for now.